Hi guys, welcome back and hello if you are new. I hope all of you guys enjoyed that sort of multiple review I did last week. It's obviously kind of a bit of a new thing. I did it once before, but was really great sort of hearing your feedback on it. I'm going to be focusing on just the one review for this week, but it is a very, very big one. It's been quite a long time since we've heard from Arch Enemy. It's actually been since 2017 since we had Will to Power. So I'm here to ask the all-important question of, was it worth the wait? If you've never listened to Arch Enemy before and have no idea what I'm talking about, they are a hugely popular melodic death metal band. This is their 11th album and it is also their third album with Alyssa White-Gluz. So Arch Enemy are formed of Michael Amott, who previously used to be in Carcass, Charlie D'Angelo on bass, Daniel Erlandson on drums, the amazing Jeff Loomis on guitar, who previously was in Nevermore, and also rounding off with Alyssa White-Gluz on vocals. So it's a hugely talented group of people. Now, Arch Enemy aren't necessarily my favourite band, but I think it's important to understand that what they do incredibly well. I would also go on as far to say that Arch Enemy are a household name when it comes to metal. I, for one, grew up on Doomsday Machine and Wages of Sin and all that sort of stuff. There's a good amount of variety on display here. You've got furious riffers in the form of In the Eye of the Storm, and then the kind of more punk-oriented Deceiver.
The traces on the traps when the timing comes persecuted spies.
But on the flip side, there's kind of more of a sentimental kind of ballad idea that is put together on Poisoned Arrow and One Last Time as well. And whereas there were kind of moments on Will to Power where I was a bit sort of like meh, and I found my interest waning a little bit, that level of variety I think has kept things really interesting for me and has also made a lot of replay value as well. I also think that it's clever the way that the band kind of put these earworms in your head. They'll introduce, the main melody of a chorus literally as the first thing that you hear in an intro. And when it gets to sort of, around the sort of 3.5 minute mark or near the end of the song, you've kind of heard that melody so much that you already start to pick it up. And by the time you're playing the song through again, you know what the chorus is going to sound like. It's very, very clever. There's also a definite sense of kind of atmosphere on this record. It's very sort of big, very epic. You've got Exile from Earth, which has this sort of quite imposing introduction, and then you've got the ending of The Watcher, which goes into Poisoned Arrow, which has these sort of quite dramatic strings. There's lots of intros. It's very kind of grandiose in many ways. And I really kind of like the feel of the album as a whole because it feels cohesive, even though there's all these different kind of things that are happening throughout each individual track. Of course, an Arch Enemy album wouldn't be complete without solos, and there are some absolutely brilliant solos on this record. A highlight for me personally is The Watcher. I think it's really interesting, and there's some great note choices on One Last Time. And as much as it is definitely very much Michael Amott, I feel like he's pushing the boat out a little bit further. And Jeff Loomis has also been completely let off the leash with this one, and I think all he does is enhance the band's sound. You know, he doesn't necessarily go too far outside what you would associate with Arch Enemy, but it still has his signature style to it. But it's really nice to see the two of them kind of, you know, trade off solos, and you can hear the difference in their playing. And I also want to mention, you know, I'm not sort of bad-mouthing Michael Amott's leads in any capacity. I don't think they sound tired. I think they sound really interesting. But it's just nice to have that kind of level of diversity on the album. And of course, that being said, there are some killer key changes which are on this record, which is, of course, Michael Amott's signature move. And I do have to say that I think Alyssa has come on in leaps and bounds on this album. It is very much kind of her album, and I think that, you know, she's really surpassed that whole, oh well, she's the second singer, like, no, this is, you know, Arch Enemy is with Alyssa, and she adds so much more to their sound. Arch Enemy have not only proven that they have staying power in metal, but have done so with an album that is quintessentially Arch Enemy, experimental and incredibly contemporary as well. They might not be my favourite band, but if they're flying the flag for metal, we're in safe hands. So I hope you guys enjoyed this album review. Let me know what you think in the comments below of both the album now that it's out and the video. I always love to have a chat with you guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week for another album review. Take care, my friends.